Well, greetings today. I have something that I've been looking forward to for a while since I got back into RC cars a second time. Because in 2022, I started with the Super Avante and the Stu 2022, then I got more and more. But in 2007, I bought the Sand Viper, and then, well, maybe this is the fourth time. Bought the Sand Viper, and then in 2015, I believe, I bought the Super Clodbuster in 2022. Okay, scratch all that. This is the umpteenth time I've gotten into RC cars. But I was looking forward to this one, the Striker. Um, I know they're never going to re-release it now. I had my high hopes, of course. Just like many others, the two others that wanted them to re-release the Striker, it did not happen. So I found a decent one for a decent price, and I know the rear suspension was broken. So how can I get it for a decent price? You think it's because it had almost every parts tree to it. So I could have replaced almost everything on this thing except for the chassis, which was broken. But I found a fix. Now under the chassis, near where the rear suspension mounts, I was able to put a screw on the inside of the chassis, holding that block on, because the chassis is broken up here, the little tab is broken, so that's not holding anything. So I thought, what can I do if it's not going to hold the glue's not going to hold it on, which it didn't. So I just put a screw there, countersunk it. It won't interfere with the battery, even if I decide to cut the little pieces here that that allow it to only take a round pack. I'll just run a round pack on it. I don't care. So there we go. And on the other side, I just did the same thing as a preemptive. This way, in case something happens, yeah, I will be able to save this thing. So there we go. And I noticed when I was putting it back together, I was so excited. I washed everything. I soaked it in water because I heard that that'll help rejuvenate old plastic. And I noticed the gearbox that was on it was cracked. Nice big old hole in it, maybe half an inch. So I had to use the gearbox, the spare one that it came with, because all the parts on here, besides the gearbox and one other part, were just fine. Oh yeah, the only other part that wasn't fine was the rear hub. That was cracked because they used a piece of a screw in there instead of the pin, and the piece of the screw wasn't long enough, so it just cracked that plastic hub. Which, whatever. I just used the new plastic hub, so it has an old one, and a new one, and I can always buy the metal ones, the Falcon, I think they are, and they sell those. Fine. It had lunchbox front suspension arms, because the Striker front suspension arms are hard to find. I was able to find Striker front suspension arms. They weren't cheap, but it's a Striker. So I got some Striker suspension arms on it. And because of that, the steering tie rods, weren't long enough, because they were long enough for the lunchbox suspension arms, which aren't as wide. So I had to make my own, which is fine. And these are stronger than the coat hanger tie rods. The bumper was fine. It has some scratches on it, some scratches on the bottom, of course, but the tires are decent. They're not great. Maybe I'll get some Grasshopper 2 tires, which are the same exact thing. I know it has the wrong motor. It's supposed to have the white end bell. This says the black metal end bell. Okay. I'm not going to cry about it. Enough crying about this car already. So as you can tell, it has an old style receiver because I am going old school on this thing. Yes, I was able to find a mechanical speed controller. So I have the servo, the mechanical speed controller. I have a good on-off switch coming. I have this big old clunky one, and it doesn't fit in there. So I have one coming, which is fine. And of course, mechanical speed controller, resistor. Everything on here is working. All I have to do is test it out, and I am happy with this thing. Made my own stickers. They are not very good because you have to back them in white, and I don't have a printer that prints in white. So if it's a dark color, it's harder to see it. I don't care. It gives it character. But everything on this is custom. The paint that I'm going to show you right here, don't use that because clear coat does not stick to it. If I tried to tape off like around here to paint this black, that's why it looks kind of janky. If I try to tape it off and I peel the masking tape, it peels the clear coat right off. So I'm stuck with I did everything by hand. I want to do some nice lines. It didn't happen. Now, I think the paint that I painted the wheels with, another chrome paint that I have, might have worked better in hindsight. I know. But, like I said, going old school on the Magnum AM right here. And this is exciting. I have not had one of these in a while. I didn't think that I would ever get another one again because Tamiya's not going to re-release them. They'd probably be 120, 150 bucks if they did. And people usually want ones that are in great shape. They think they're made of gold. No. But for what I paid, I am happy with it. So let's bring it out. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz.